Type 1 diabetes is on the rise in our country. Right now, about 1.24 million Americans live with the disease, and that number is expected to grow to 5 million by 2050.
Yeah, Type 1 Diabetes Day is on April 15th, making now an especially relevant time to learn about the power of early screening for Type 1 diabetes. Joining us this morning to talk about why early detection for Type 1 diabetes is so important is Dr. Michael Natter, a leading New York City-based endocrinologist who also has Type 1 diabetes himself. Doctor, good morning.
Good morning, Emily Carmen. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
Well, we're glad you could be here, especially with such an important topic. Tell us about your journey specifically with Type 1 diabetes, particularly being a doctor who personally lives with it, and how does this disease affect individuals?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. So, I was diagnosed with Type 1 diabetes 2 weeks after my 9th birthday. It was jarring and scary, honestly, for both myself and my family. But I have to say, it also gave me my calling in life. It made me realize that I wanted to become a physician, and not just a physician, but an endocrinologist, which is the kind of doctor that takes care of other folks with Type 1 diabetes. And I have to say, what is Type 1 diabetes? It's often not really understood because it's a small portion of diabetes, but it's growing, as you mentioned. And Type 1 diabetes is a chronic autoimmune condition. What does that mean? So auto means self, and immune is your immune system, like the army that takes care of invaders like viruses or bacteria. But in an autoimmune condition, the body goes haywire, and the immune system attacks the cells of the pancreas, which make insulin, rendering the patient basically insulin dependent. They need to take insulin injections or use an insulin pump. And right now, there's no known cure for diabetes, for Type 1 diabetes. And often, it's not uncommon for folks to get diagnosed later into its progression. And that does mean that there's a higher risk of a life-threatening complication called diabetic ketoacidosis, or DKA. And for that reason, I really encourage everyone to talk to their doctor about getting screened for Type 1 diabetes today.
So how important is screening for Type 1, and how do you get screened?
Absolutely, Emily, thank you for asking that. So screening is a blood test. So you talk to your doctor about this, and you can get an autoantibody blood test. And if that's positive, that means that there's a higher likelihood that you will develop Type 1 diabetes. And why this is critically important is because we can do that screening before any symptoms are present, before any need for insulin is present. And what that allows us to do is a couple of things. For one, it allows us to really equip the patient and their family for what to expect and educate them about what it means to have Type 1 and how to take care of themselves. But also, as I mentioned before, there is that life-threatening condition called diabetic ketoacidosis, and we can often not prevent necessarily, but reduce the risk of developing DKA by up to 50%. So again, it's really important we talk about Type 1 screening.
Dr. Natter, what is the One Pledge movement, and why are you involved?
Absolutely. So I'm actually really proud to be engaged by Sanofi and to be their spokesperson for the One Pledge movement. And the One Pledge movement is a movement about education and awareness about screening for Type 1 diabetes. And I personally understand this as someone who lives with Type 1 diabetes since 9, but also as someone who cares for patients with Type 1 diabetes. I'm really passionate about educating the public about the importance of screening for Type 1.
And before you go, what else should people know about screening for Type 1 diabetes?
Well, firstly, it's really important to know that there's a lot of great information at the onepledge.com website. Highly recommend you check that out. And also, April 15th happens to be Type 1 Diabetes Day. So another day circling around education and talking about awareness, early screening, and all of these things. And I highly recommend you talk to your doctor about this.
Right. Dr. Michael Natter, thanks again for being with us this morning.